Hey there, this is Tim. You've heard me say this before. I'm one of the partners of Paragon Partners. It's September 12th, 2021, and I'm going to go over my last 30 eBay sales. So you can see here's where I'm at, about 15,000 over the last 30 days. This is about normal. Sometimes we've had it spike up to 20,000, 22 on the good month, and then bad month we've had as low as 4. So right around the medium side. This one came out of a huge surplus lot. We bought all these electronics, and this is just left over for me. It was free, and so I just threw it up, and we got it sold. Now, usually I don't sell battery chargers because they don't do that well. This is one of the upper end ones. We sold this one on consignment, and we actually got a better price for it. Oh, now this one. We got this, this was sold on consignment, but when we got, it was sold, the buyer claimed it was defective, so he returned it. And the consignor is giving us all good stuff, so I'm going to cut us some slack on this one. But you can see we sold it on a good price, which all went back. What I did after I got it back is I gave it to a local auction house with all that information. That was in an unknown state, and they sold it for something like $60, so we're still able to flip some money on it. Now this one I bought from a recent regional online sale, and I think I paid something like $20 for it, and I was actually kind of looking for an excuse to use this. So it's a little kiln, so you can melt things like copper and glass and make your own devices. So I saw, it went up to $100. That's what I started with. I mentioned this before. If something doesn't sell in 3-4 weeks, my partner, he goes through and he cuts it. He cut it by 30%, and you see it sold. This is another item we sold on consignment. Sewing machines, I don't know that much about. Of course, sewing machines can be anywhere from $200 to $3,000, $4,000. So I'm not sure where this one lines in. Oh. So talking about cheap sewing machines, here's another one, same consignor. And you can see this is a little simple model and what we got for it. Now, I've told you before, I'm not fond of printers. Most of my printers don't do well. This one actually did well. My partner, he picked up this huge lot of office leftover equipment, and they had a bunch of printers, and that's only why I listed them. This is something I go on and acquire by myself. And we got a decent price on this one. You watch me, I've done, I kind of like telephones. They're easy to pick up at thrift stores, and they are a steady seller. This one I got for like $2 at the thrift store. So these pipettes, if you've been following me for a while, my partner, he picked up a huge lot of medical surplus, and we sold most everything in it by now. These are just a couple of pipettes that were left over. Oh, this is from that same medical surplus lot. I don't know why it came in it, but it was some sort of absorbency paper. Yeah, I'm bummed out. I didn't get the full price for it, but at least we sold it. This is another item that came out of a big surplus lot. It was just left over, and I've been thinking, well, instead of giving it away, why don't I see how it does? So I threw it up, and we eventually sold it. For me, this was long paid for. Same thing off the office equipment lot. They had all the devices for the burglar alarm system, so all the sensors, components, and controllers. And I was able to break it apart, and I sold one individually. And this guy, he bought both of them, so it saved me on the shipping as well. Oh, now this one, I don't know why I listed this as an auction. I shouldn't have done buy it now, because I've done better on the Technics gear. And I think I wouldn't have listed this as buy it now, best offer at $30. And I wouldn't have seen what happened. But instead, I listed it on an auction. No surprise, only got 10. Now, here's another one. And you'll see the next one. I should have listed for buy it now instead of auctions. So this was an airbrush set. And I've seen these do pretty good. I guess because I listed on an auction, I got a little impatient. But I've seen these go for 40 to 80. Yeah, and I wish I would have gotten more for it. Now I'm buying this one and this one right here at the swap meet. I got them for $10 each. Yeah, and I definitely should have done a buy it now instead of an auction on these guys. I told you I'm not a big fan of cameras because they come back broken. I know the source from this one, and I got it because you can see it had everything with it. It had the lights, the remotes, the battery, the chargers in the case. And we took, it was, I believe, about $100 offer on it. So that's why I got this particular one. So I've been talking about that medical surplus slot. So this is a bit during more when COVID was active, and there are a bunch of these gloves in it. And so I just put a bunch of the gloves together, and these sold. Oh, now this one I really wish I didn't sell. So get this. This was I had a Sony home theater. Now this is the one I used to use, but I got a more advanced one. All right, beyond this. So I said, okay, since I don't need it anymore, I'm going to go ahead and sell it. So this is the one I used to sell that I went ahead and sold. So I start using the more advanced one, and it doesn't work. It's more complex, and it overheats, and it's a piece of crap. I'm going, geez, I should have stayed with the more simple one that I had and sold. It was this one right here. I wish I would have kept it. Normally, I don't do good on these cable modems. This, I remember I got it at the thrift store for $2.50, and I looked up the comps, and this is one of the better ones, so that's why I went with it. Oh, now this one, I was a little bummed. So I bought it from a regional online auction, and there were two of them in the set. And I was looking at it because it was new in box, so I'm thinking, okay, I can flip it to Amazon. So when I went ahead and got it, the barcode wasn't recognized by Amazon. I couldn't listen to the category. So, oh, damn, I got to list it myself. So I put it on eBay where I know I'm going to get less money. And luckily, the guy, he bought both of these. But had I been able to put it on Amazon, I would have gotten probably like $35, and Amazon went and took care of the shipping. So this is another one I was a little surprised on. This is an old device to broadcast a video cassette camera into your TV without the cables. So, of course, how many people do that anymore? I haven't had to do it since the 90s, but it was still new in box. And same thing, this is still selling on Amazon, but it's in the gated category I couldn't get into. So I went ahead and listed it, and you can see I got a decent price on it. So I talked about battery chargers, and this is how it ends up for me 9 out of 10 times. So this is another one I got at the thrift store, $5, but I got half off, so $2.50. Okay, you can see we had to whittle the price down to $17 with free shipping. So, you know, I really didn't make that much on it. And this is usually when I buy battery chargers, how it goes. Now, this is a camera we sold on consignment, and we've been all over the place with these cameras. But you can see here we did pretty good on it. This one I'm a little disappointed by. So I was at the swap meet. I got this out of somebody's dollar bin. And you know, how much of this media are people making anymore? They're not making that much. So I think, okay, it's got to be a little more valuable. It wasn't on Amazon, so I couldn't sell it there. And so I went ahead and put it on eBay, and this is about the going price for it. And, you know, I kind of wish I would have made more. So I told you how much I love phones, and here's one where it really paid off. So this set was $10. I got it for $5. And you can see I got more for it because it had, it was a 5 handset deal with the base station. So it was really, really pretty good for me. Yeah, I like that. Not bad on $5. Oh, this one was a pain. So you can see the price. So we took a best offer on it of $9,990. All right. The guy got it. All right. And we're smart enough on the shipment to put signature required, which we do on any shipment over that's worth over $500. So the guy gets it. All's going away. All's going good for a while, and then he disputes it and doesn't dispute it with eBay. He disputes it with his credit card company, and he says item not received. Oh damn! So what eBay does is they take all the money out of our account. So now they take out 10 grand. So our account is in the negative by like a couple of grand at this point. I mean, I can't buy postage from eBay because I don't have a positive balance. So my partner ended up texting them and say, hey, what's going on? You know, we show that you received it. And he makes up some lame excuse, oh, my neighbor ripped it off. Well, okay, then why didn't you file a police report? You know, you don't have that. He never did. So of course this is a lame attempt to get out of it. We so luckily the credit card company found in our favor, and that's not always a given. Usually, they always give the benefit of the doubt to the buyer. But this one, they went with us. So we got the money back, but that was like 6 months later, or pardon me, 6 weeks later. So we had this couple of grand hole in our account that we had to dig out of. That was a pain. Here's another camera that we sold from the same consignor. You can see, not bad. Oh, now this one, kind of interesting. This one I did on auction, and this one paid off. But I was at the swap meet, and I pulled this out of somebody's bin with a bunch of other stuff, and I paid like $15 for everything, which included this. This is the most valuable thing in there. And I went ahead and sold it, and this wasn't perfect. The back truck was missing, and it had one other cosmetic issue, so of course I made sure to describe it. But you can see I got a good deal on it. So yeah, I mean, I think locomotive engines, probably a good deal for auctions. So I mentioned old HP calculators. This is the one exception to the rule. What people want on HP calculators are the engineering calculators. This is the financial calculator. So I remember I'd actually bought this 2 years ago at the swap meet out of somebody's dollar bin. The batteries still work, all right? And I was going to go ahead and enlist it, but I didn't. And I kept on kicking it around in my office in a little junk box. Kept on kicking it around. So finally, 2 years later, I think, okay, I'm tired of looking at this. I'm going to go ahead and sell it. So I'm going to put it out of auction, start at $1. Well, you can see what we sold it for. So I've been carrying it around for 2 years, and I lost a penny on the bid, not including everything else. Oh, so I'd mentioned buying stuff for parts, and this is a Star Wars toy that, of course, wasn't complete, but you can see I still did pretty good. Now I bought this at the swap meet for a couple bucks, and not that I'm a big pro at this, but I could tell at least it was missing the canopy, and I think it was missing part of the landing gear, and I think it was missing some other parts off the wings. But what made this valuable was this came out of 1977. Version wasn't the later versions in the 90s. So since it was 77, right when the movie series came out, that's what puts a little more value onto this one. So you can see something that was broken for parts, not bad. Last item, I had mentioned that my partner he bought this huge lot of a watch repair shop, and he's been selling everything out of it. So this is one more thing that came out of it, or a bunch of watch springs out of that shop. And you can see just one more item, and we got $14 for it, so not bad. Anyway, you hear this every video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Cheers.